Good Shepherd, if you wanted to learn something new, what would be the best way to do that? I think finding a good teacher would be really helpful. We're going to talk about finding good teachers today and also being a good learner. I want to give you 2 examples of good teachers that I've had. The first one comes when I wanted to learn how to play the violin. Now, if you wanted to learn how to play the violin, wouldn't you want to spend time with someone who is an expert at playing this instrument? That knows what the music sounds like, how to tune the instrument, how to move the bow, and you'd want to watch them so you could duplicate what you've seen and heard. One of the experts that helped me learn the violin was my teacher starting in 5th grade. His name was Mr. Mish. One other thing I was really interested in learning about was wood and how to create things out of wood. So I found an expert who could help me. And I got to create all sorts of little fun things, like this chicken, and this gnome, and this horse. And when I found this expert, he was so gracious and patient and helped me to learn how to work with the tools, how to work with the wood so I would follow the grain, how to paint and oil, and really how to use my imagination. And this expert actually goes to Good Shepherd. His name is Harley. I'm so grateful for both of these teachers in my life. When you study and spend time with someone who's helping you learn, you become an apprentice or a learner, or what we call in the church, a disciple. Take a moment now and talk with whoever you're with today and talk about who have been your teachers. Who have you learned from? In our church, the teacher that we look to so often is Jesus. And Jesus was always teaching his followers, his disciples, us. And what we hear today is Jesus saying, go and make disciples of all nations. He's telling the people following him to keep carrying on his work and help others learn about God's love. You see, just like Mr. Mish and Harley, Jesus was an expert, but Jesus was an expert on how to show love to other people. The most important way that we can show love for others is the same way Jesus showed love for others over and over again. He stood up for and stood beside people who were treated differently than everyone else. He made sure that people who were treated poorly not only had his support and his love, but he also stood with them, and he cried with them, and he helped them whenever he could. This invitation is extended to all of us, all of God's children, with Jesus as our teacher, to be disciples of Jesus' love and stand up for those who aren't treated right. And by doing that, we will show the radiant love of God in the world. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for teaching us how to be disciples. Help us remember to help those who are treated poorly. Help us remember to stand up for those who are treated unfairly. Amen.